Whew. Man, that has been a while. And I would have started sooner on the dot, but a little prior thing had to be taken care of first. As of now, unless something, catastrophic happens, knock on wood, I think we're fine. I think we're a go on this finally. I'll admit, this has been a long time coming. It's a sort of... I've been working, I suppose, as an idea. It's been on the back burner since even before all this. So for it to finally be here, coming into fruition, its complete and total form is pretty good. It's just something I've been dying to get to after all this time and be able to finally reach it. Yeah, it does feel pretty good. I mean, I suppose to start with, your bog standard stuff. Well, let me just pull up the image itself. Because, man, you do that, you're gonna have more than me to deal with. Yeah, so let me do the simple thing and pull up the picture. This right here is what we're dealing with. We'll be going through this bad boy, one bit after another, going through all the stuff. Okay, oh, right, I have it, I had, oops. I had I may have had the Twitch chat, no, the Twitch chat, like stuff on accidentally still. Actually, let me go make sure the other two. Oh yeah, the other one it was on Twitch chat mode still as well. Nah, y'all are very important to me. Don't ever listen to the man behind the image. Either way, so up here, only had like a pointer. Either way, you got the top, and it goes down deeper and deeper, where things would likely become more obscure, less well known, and all that, will require convoluted explanation. Or they just put down the bottom for like ooh, edgy shits and giggles, which is also funny at times. But yeah, so I subdivided it into like smaller images so we can just focus on each part one after another. And speaking of, I think, well, first things first, I should probably boot up the game because I will, constantly just refer back to it for some things. I meant to hit studio mode. Okay, so yeah, that's looking for exit the Gungeon, at the enter, and I just remembered is currently taking up most of everything. Okay. Alright, here we are. Ready to cover this nice and proper. But first things first. There we go. Not exactly into, but that'll be explained in a second. You know, I thought it being in winter would have been the salvation for my audio problems like that, but oh well. Either way. So, you know, getting into our first few things is, okay, this is too big. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Stretchy. Alrighty. Okay. So I suppose if we were to first start, we have the physical Ammonomicon, which, God, I have so many little tabs. Sources here in OBS. I wish clicking out didn't stop that. But either way. So we start with the physical Ammonomicon. You know, I could just boot up the soundtrack. So we just always have something playing. Oh wow, that's big. Okay, I'm just seeing if I can. It is a close-up view, if I guess. Whatever. Okay, so tell you what, if it'll just keep muting it audio, I'll do that. And then I'll boot up music myself. I mean, I suppose I'll have to do anyways, because this'll be related to one of our entries. Oh, it's loud. Turn it down a tad. There you go. That's good. Oh. Okay. Now where is this thing? Okay, so first things first. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so first thing we have is the physical Ammonomicon, which, yeah, they made a physical book. Of all the like the various entries in the game. And the game's a little in-game thing. Like that. You have a physical book. Granted, it didn't have things from like the very last update, but you know, it's pretty near close the best you're gonna get. Although I think it does work pretty well. But yeah, it's a nice little, like, sort of physical merch bit that came with the physical editions of the, well, there's only one physical, well, no, there's a Switch edition. Physical Switch, I think. Either way, like, it came with the physical PS4 edition, of which I have two. One gotten from me, by myself, and the other one is actually given to me by a professor back in college, because he had actually gotten, like, some extra physical PS4 editions to give out to students. From a guy from Dodgeball Games themselves. But, you know, that was nice. So moving on, we have trophies. Now, within the game, there's a lot of things you can do, and usually there's a way to sort of notate that you've done it. First things first is sort of this area. It becomes more and more filled out as you do stuff. If you start like a new fresh game, this is all barren. This wooden platform isn't here. But specifically, there are like trophy items to show that you've done something. These boxing gloves, golden, that's for beating this bastard all 3 phases. He has a 3-phase boss fight, with the last one being a straight up crawl back to Punch Out. Beat him up there. You get these. These are little golden gloves. Oh, I suppose I could use never mind, I can't. That was weird. There we go. There we go. Right here. You defeat. As you collect the pieces of the bullet to kill the past, shown here, they'll appear physically here. And normally it'd be a pedestal, but if you beat the advanced dragon, trust me, we'll get to that. The pedestal will be replaced by this golden skull. Okay, no mind. And there's 4 other trophies. No, 5 actually. This one down here, you get for beating the Lich. The true final boss of the game. Kinda. You get this one for beating challenge mode, where every room has its own sort of 1 or 2, maybe even 3 modifiers to make it harder to beat. Get it by talking to this guy, Daisuke. You get this one by beating blessing mode, by talking to the priestess. And that one, when in blessed mode, your gun changes every few seconds. This chili dog statue, you get for beating the game on, like, I don't remember what the mode's called, but essentially everything's sped up. You get from, which you get from talking to this guy, Tonic the Sledge Dog, which we'll also go over. And then this one, the newest of the pack, Bowler. You get this trophy on the bottom right by beating Rainbow Mode, which, well, we'll also go over. That's for that. Those are the trophies you get. They're essentially just sort of markers. While most of them also come with an associated unlock, it's sort of like a visual thing. They show, hey, you did it. You're pretty good. Moving on, we have the secret floors and characters. I mean, starting simply. Since we're already in the breach, why don't we start with the characters? Now, when you first start a new game, you have 4 starting characters. The Marine, the Pilot, the Convict, and the Huntress. Technically 5 with the Cultist, but he's sort of exclusive as a co-op character. The one I'm playing as, the Bullet, the Robot, the Gunslinger, and the Paradox all require sort of special conditions to be made. Now then, after first killing the pass, getting all 4 of these and defeating one of the 4 characters bosses, like exclusive bosses, one of these guys we can find them. One of these guys will start these guys are gonna start spawning inside the Gungeon. They don't attack, they don't really do anything, they just sort of walk around. What you have to do is just let them be, let them walk around. Let that happen 5 times, and then boom, you get the bullet. Of course, you can kill them without any penalty, but you sort of have to pay attention, let them live. And then they like disappear on their own. But since considering I spawned them here in the breach, I have no clue what's gonna happen. Now then, the Robot is a bit more interesting. A bit more involved, should I say. Oh, okay, so it's saying here. Now you have these shortcuts that essentially, well, they use as a shortcut to get to one of the next chambers. The first unlock after, I don't remember when, but after you complete, like, they all have their own stages of you bring the guy's stuff. But after you unlock the first one, you go in, and what do you look? There's a TV, the busted TV. You take this thing all the way down to the forge, which is the 5th floor of the game. So theoretically, if we were just like boom, you go through the next floor. Go through the next one. Go through this one. All the while carrying this thing around. And here's the thing. It's not hard just because you're down an active item. You actively have to manage it. Because if you try dodge rolling, which is like your main defense in the game, you drop it. Cannot be carried through a dodge roll. It's heavy and broken. And so, in case you come across a gap, you can just throw it. And this will also be handy in this later entry that we'll cover, which is only really 1 note. Okay, so just so we know where we're going. Oh, look. Wait. Oh yeah, she's pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, so that's like your main defense. And you'd be forced to drop this thing constantly. And you'd have to take it to her up here. And I suppose as we're going, I could tell you about the paradox. The paradox. Oh. After defeating the 4 main Gungeoniers past, Pilot, Convict, Huntress, Marine. No, yeah, it definitely is. And the other part is, like, the entire reason why you have to throw this is that sometimes there are just gaps you have to go across as well. Come on. You know, part of me thought about opening a rainbow chest before this, and I probably should have. Because essentially I skipped all the way to the end game. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but there is health scaling as well as we get further down. Come on. But personally, I didn't even know it was gonna respawn. I thought I was gonna have to spawn it in. Yeah, so you bring it all the way to her, the blacksmith. And normally she would take the TV, replace it, the robot would be here, and teleport up to the breach. But since I've already unlocked the robot, there's no reason for that. Alright. Okay, no. So it's for the paradox. The Paradox and Gunslinger are special characters in the sense that they require some of this meta currency called hegemony credits to play. The Paradox cost 5, and essentially they are completely random. Constantly shifting between skins and whatnot. Like, I turned from the Huntress to the Convict. Now I'm the Marine, and there's alt skin. You start with completely random stuff and stats. Random starter gun, random secondary, and a random passive. Which we got Super Hot Watch, which is like our extremely rare item. So, you know, that streamer luck. Yeah, in the floors, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, there's after killing one past, there's a chance for this sort of nebula cloud to appear. You take it up, you get this effect that they have on them constantly. Then you have to go kill your character's past, that character's past, and then boom, you get a paradox. Or if you had already killed the past of the character you're playing as, you go down straight to bullet hell, which is just past the forge, and you kill the lich instead. And so that one's like much simpler in effect. Then you have the Gunslinger, which it costs 7, but has the bonus effect of having Lich's Eye bullets, which interacts with the mechanical cover in a second. But essentially what you have to do is you kill the past of the paradox. You are immediately put on a run as the Gunslinger, a new run. And if you like use your shortcut as the paradox, you get put to where the shortcut ends up. So if I took the shortcut to floor 3, then I'd start at floor 3 as the Gunslinger. And all you have to do is go down and kill his past. And then boom, you unlock him. Now then, as there are secret characters, there are also secret floors. Every floor in the game, after all the updates the game has had, they all have a sort of secret. Okay. So let's just go for a quick run through of them. And just And as you can see, this relates to the effect he has. The gunslinger has. Okay, so we are ending up down there. The first floor, it involves that barrel. This barrel right here. Not directly, mind you, but you'll see. So on the first floor, there will be a room with a fireplace. And on the first floor, there will be usually 2 guaranteed water barrel spawns. One in a random location, like how we passed it earlier, and usually one inside the room itself with the fireplace. With the second one acting as a sort of failsafe in case enemies inside the room break it. Although occasionally there won't be one in there. And just like that, I broke it. So if we did this normally, and we wanted to go to the secret floor, we'd have to push this barrel all the way over. Through the different halls. Leaving this water trail all the way behind. Of course, it can be circumnavigated. If you have something that sprays like water already, like the Mega Dowser, which is a straight up water gun, you could just extinguish the fire directly. All that really matters is that water just touches it. And be careful. If you flip a table too close to it, it will break the barrel. You take it in here, taking it to the fireplace. Pushing nearby. Goes out. You go inside. Press a button. And looky-loo. We saw on the map that this was a room linked, but it was grayed out. That was because there's technically no way to reach it at that point. We go in here. We have another room. And this is just a save button. In case you want to, stop for a bit. That it is. That it is. But so, now you have to decide between using 2 keys. For the pilot, you have the lockpick, so you could try lockpicking one. But if it doesn't work, you can't get in. Because if the pilot's lockpick doesn't work, then the lock just broke it. So you'd have to decide between opening it. So first, you need to get a second key, because you only start a run with a singular key. And if you manage to get another one, you would have to legitimately think between, is it worth it to skip these 2 guaranteed chests? Or to spend money to buy, like, a potential third key? For our sake, yes, it is worth it. Thus bringing us to the first secret floor, the oubliette. Which is, yeah, it's kind of a sewer. But filled with all sorts of traps, as you can see. Yeah, sewage, poisons, and mushrooms, mutant bullets. Poison is sort of the name of the game here. All those enemies, mutant bulletkin. They make the home here. Of course, it's more than just mutant bulletkin here. There's also the Blobulonians, which, trust me, that's gonna be a rabbit hole we're gonna go down later. But yeah, while the main floors have a choice between bosses, like for the first floor, we could fight the Gatling Gull, the Trigger Twins, the Bullet King. Oh, looky loot. Unfortunately, we have no key. Look, we have our first Blobulonian. Which, considering we see how it's mostly there, it's interesting considering the lore implications. So, that will definitely, trust me, we're gonna go crazy later. But, within the oubliette is a special room. This one. With this item specifically. The old crest. Now that you picked it up, you have to protect it. Because this is how you get into the next secret floor. And not only just for this one, for this floor, but the one after too, until you find the secret exit. Don't get hit. But as I was saying, secret floors, they all have the same boss every time. Huh? Yeah, this would be nice. If we had a faster DPS, that'd be nice. Hey, well, that's how luck. Wow, we got another chest. Chest spawns are actually kind of rare. It's kind of nuts that we got two kind of close on the same floor. Either way, and we have our second Blobulon, a Cubulon. Yeah, you'll find all sorts of, alongside the mutant Bulletkin, you'll find all sorts of blob-related enemies, including the boss of this floor. Ah, come on, I can't resist. The Blobulord. We'll be talking about you a lot. 4-star general, the Blobulord. Yeah, so you gotta take care of him, and his blobby nature. Try to absolutely destroy him. Take care of him, and then boom. Now with this floor, there isn't really anything bonus to it. And for the sake of making things go a bit faster, another one of these. I'll keep that. Yeah, we destroyed the Blobulord. We still have this old crest intact. And notice, we picked up that armor. It's at the end. So you essentially have to start playing a perfect run the moment you pick it up. With the map, you have to look for a room like this, which your best bet is to find chest rooms or it's usually linked special rooms. If you didn't have the map, you wouldn't have any clue where you were going. But luckily, we do. But still, even if you know where you're going, one straight hit, that's all it takes. Ooh, we have Bloody Scarf. I will not take that. So our second floor will be unlocked through this crest. It even gives you a hint. crest of a strange religion. The edges are scuffed and worn, as if it's been slid into a frame several times. You know, it'd be kind of funny. This is like the last room before the D room. It'd be kind of funny if we got hit now. But we weren't. Oh, wow. Wait, another one. Huh. So we go here. We find this sort of place. The altar is empty. We take our old crest, put it upon here. Oh, and that's the other bit. As we saw with the entrance to the oubliette, you don't have to actually complete the floor. You can just leave immediately. So you go down here, and you have the second floor, the Abbey of the True Gun, a sort of more like religious place of sorts. And this one is special in two ways. This is where the floors start getting a bit well, two of the second floors get bonus stuff. As for terms of enemies here, you see more just less, well, culty, for lack of a better word. But here, there'll be one type of secret room that almost always spawns. And that would be this guy, who we'll see later. And we can destroy a chest. Keep this in mind. Lies. Next time, tell the truth. Ah, man. We gotta go. So, we fought Blobby Lord the last time. And of course, you see all these, like, cardinals. So the theming of this floor is like how the last one was a sewer. This one's just more religious. Which I think may be related to the word Abbey. I don't actually know what that means. Okay, make my way through. Yeah, so there is a high chance you usually get two secret rooms here in the Abbey. But usually with Brother Alburn's sort of little secret room is usually much more consistent to find, usually being by a chest. Although as we saw, it wasn't by a chest this time. I'll take one for the road. Yeah, the Abbey is just sort of a step up in difficulty, with enemies that can be jammed. Because usually, jammed enemies are related to how much curse you have, and in this case, they can just appear. They can just be assigned to appear in some of these room layouts. Oh wow, we got another one. Like, really, we are getting a ton of these. It's actually kind of crazy. You also see a bunch of these bloodulons, I think they're called. But at the leading the Abbey is an immortal king. Before the Bullet King, there was him. And essentially, he is just a much harder Bullet King. The old king. He even has his own chancellor. Yeah, he uses much harder variants of attacks that the Bullet King used. Of course, we're not playing by the rules. We're just showing off the things. Although, of course, I sort of thought that would take more health from him. And we can only kill this guy so fast due to a thing we'll talk about in a later entry. Yeah, the Abbey, unlike the Oubliette, the Abbey doesn't contain the thing for the next floor. Although, upon retrospect, we did skip out on what we need. You take down the king, and in addition to the boss items, he usually spawns a chest, a synergy chest, meaning you can either get a thing or an item that makes a synergy. Now then, due to me skipping it like an idiot, on the previous floor, there would be, in a shop like this, there would be a glass container with a key, like this. I mean, we can just... yeah. We can just do this. Yeah, so... while the Oubliette had the next secret floors... sort of key item... it'd be back here for this floor. You head off to the shop. Oh, okay, we made it through. But trust me, I hate trap rooms. Oh, you, buddy. Yeah, so we just have to make our way to the shop. Which, upon retrospect, I could have given myself escape rope. But, you know, retrospect and all that. Yeah, we'd have to circumnavigate. And, you know, I hope you've been saving your money. Because if you plan on going through all the secret floors, which is possible, then you'd have your work cut out for you for this next bit. Because once you get to the store, you know, let me see the unlock edition specifically. Nope, wrong one. Okay. Because the next floor is arguably the most involved one. Involving, well, mostly just a lot of parts start collected over a lot of runs. And yeah, as you can see, connected to a special room. Yeah, you have this key. At 115 casings, you're gonna have to seriously make an effort, to just, one, hope you get all the money you need, and two, not be tempted to buy anything. Yeah, it starts off at 1,000, and over just who knows however many months, you sort of just start paying it off, bit by bit by bit. So technically, you could get it for one casing, only one money, if you got unlocked it like that. But after that, it stays at 115. And before that, you need to complete the bullet that can kill the past. Not necessarily kill your past, but you need to complete one. So you buy the key. So let's just give ourselves. Now we have this key. Not even just a special item, but in the top left. Now this relates to the next part. We're gonna have to find a maze, and with how we'll find our way through it, these notes here. Each of them have an unlock condition, and they'll replace an item in the chest, except this one, which will be dropped from a mimic instead. This one, you have to beat the second floor. This one, you have to have an item stolen by the resourceful rat, which you can do by leave the room. The rat will steal an item from you, and then he'll leave a note insulting you. For the third one, you need to go to the oubliette. For this one, you have to get a master round, which is... I can just get this. Which is one of these. You get by perfecting a boss in one of the, like 5 main floors. The fourth one, master round. The fifth one, you gotta kill Fusilia, which is a mini boss. Which there are 3 mini bosses that can appear: Battle Magician, Blockner, or Fusilia. So you just have to beat him once. And for this last one, you need to kill the dragon, and then it'll drop from a mimic. So yeah, we have the key. Then let's say we went through the abbey, blah blah blah. We're now in the Black Powder Mines. Now you may notice, oh Tuba, there isn't a secret compartment. Oh, but there is. This one is much more involved in finding it. Okay, didn't expect to find the cultist room. But this one requires a little bit more of a keen eye. Because where there's because you're hunting resource for rat, you need to look for rats. And that is to say, there'll be one room in here, in the mines, that's just filled with rats. Which, you'll be able to tell. And it could be in literally any room. Ow. Well, I mean, most rooms. It's not going to be in the boss room. Or treasure room, to be honest. Ah, this doesn't have any synergies. But you just have to go through as normal, just sort of keeping an eye out for rats. Negative special shopkeeper rooms like that. I suppose while we're here and we have the money, I'll take that. You too. Yeah, this is actually a really good one. Nope, not in here either. Mining accidents. Nope, not in here either. Like, it really is, like, you just have to look through the floor until you find it. That wasn't it. Ah, here we are. As you can tell, rats. That means somewhere in this room, and we got lucky, there's a secret compartment, which you need to use a key for. Which, I mean, by that, I mean a regular key. And just so we have a bit better chance. Like, I don't know what I said. Ow, my ears. Find your way down the log cart. You go minecart. You go down a long way. That's kind of like the Mario like infinite staircase because yeah, it uses a sort of perspective like loading zone illusion to sort of trick you like that. But once you reach the end, you got to use not one, but 2 blanks. And if you get 2 per floor, that means essentially, unless you find like a way to spawn more blanks, you're having an amulet item or just buying them from the shop, you have to make it. You have to like not use them. Either way, so then you get this thing, which uses that key you got from earlier. Then you find our way to our next secret floor, the rat maze. And then this is where those notes come in handy. Because those pieces of the cheese at the bottom, those are the directions you have to go in. Right, left, right, down, left, right. And don't think you can use this video as a guide. For every save file, it's randomized. But, I mean, theoretically, if you had 5 of them, you could make a guess. And he even has special dialogue for that. The floors of the rat maze are filled with like sort of difficult enemy encounters. And if you get it wrong, you simply be kicked out to the 4th floor. And just like how the Abbey had some rooms that just had jammed enemies like as part of it, the same happens here. Right, left, right. Then we go down. As you can see, jammed enemies. And something to be careful of is that, like, these rats can also be jammed. Normally you can just run into them, they can't hurt you, but if they're jammed, they will. Okay, so down, then left and right again. Thank you for the key. So then you make it through all the way through the maze. Then you find your way in. With some like little buffs, like like 2 full hearts in case you lost them, and ammo. A spread ammo which fills up a lot of your guns, and a full ammo that fully refills one of your guns. You go in, you find the rat, he says something to you. Then begins phase 1. The rat is special in that it is just a straight up 3-phase fight. But you have to, well, but you want to be careful because, as you can see, he doesn't play around. And yeah, they'll also make a bunch of poisons, all these mouse traps. But say you get him down, he escapes through this thing, through this hole in the ground. You gotta go down. And then he brings out something that's definitely cheating in a fair fight. A mech. And thus begins phase 2. He has 2 special attacks that utilize these weapons on his back. If you want to disable them and also stun him for a bit, you can target them. But be careful, because as we saw earlier, he has a special stomp attack he'll use to sort of get you away. Like that. And like there's one of the attacks. The other one would be a sort of like aerial strike, which like spawns a crosshair. And just like that, we took care of both of them. But that's not all, because they also have a special one after this. And honestly, this is like one of the attacks I would consider using a blank on, just to avoid it wholesale. But notice if you're skilled at it, you can use it as an opportunity to attack. But take down the mech, and you begin the 3rd phase. Which, this is the punch-out I mentioned earlier. And as you notice, I'm a bit out of practice. And you have to dodge that between everything. Oh yeah. And he has a heal. As you can tell. Come on. Oh. No, okay. Yes, this is what happens when you're out of practice. Okay, can I do it in 30 seconds? Probably not. And I got it. But you know, that's what happens. Yeah, so you lose, blah, blah, blah. And he'll leave a note. Or you beat him up, and he'll, like, be, like, here where this note would be. And give you, like, a, you know, his life story, or whatever. But if we were doing the punch-out thing, you get these special keys. Which, in the room after, you can use on these. Which they're guaranteed to hold 4 items. The Elementaler, which is a cheese gun. This thing. There is also a rat sack, which I got from a rainbow chest earlier. The rat boots. And then, there was one more. I think it may have been the ring that was also for rat. I don't think it's it, though. No, it's a wheel of cheese. Be this thing. And if you, for some reason, if I like opened it and then like I chose the one with the resourceful sack, it would be the one chosen. Like it would spawn a random item instead. But you can also use it to access this serpent. Although technically you only need one. Because if you're careful, you can feed it through the wall. You technically only need one key to do that. And if you go down, if you have one key, you can use a shortcut straight to the forge. But since we still have one more secret floor, or technically two. Like one more like proper secret floor. Down the hollow. Let's see if we can find him. Where he'll be. Oh, alright, right. Because the thing with him, with the fourth floor, is the spawn conditions, because this one actually has spawn conditions. While the little rat hole will appear for you regardless. For the fourth floor, you need some things in specific. You need to be holding a master round, which, as we mentioned, you get from perfecting a boss. Let me just give us some junk. Let's just get like 3. So let's just make our way to the hollow. Okay, so you go through the oubliette by extinguishing the fire. You take the old crest and buy the nod key. You have the nod keyed. Then you find the rat room in here. Then you use 2 blanks and a key to go through. And then you have a master round and like at least 2 other items that you can drop. Now let's see. Oh wow, wait, it didn't spawn? Okay. Hold on. I could have sworn that was the spawn condition. Okay, now this is a bit of a conundrum. Because last I checked, you were supposed to be able to. Okay, let's just give ourselves a bunch of items then. Okay, there's supposed to be... There's only a few things. Oh yeah, clone. And this is essentially just so we have a bunch of things. Like, we definitely should have enough items now. Although, just to be sure, we should probably defeat the floor, the next floor, like, properly. Because it could just potentially not be liking me spawning it like that. You know, let's just make our way to the boss real quick and, you know, kick its ass. Ow. Right. And then if it doesn't spawn into this, then I have no clue what to tell you, man. Ow. Of course, we got hit. Although, maybe it detects it if we've only perfected the boss. Like, it only detect, like, a legit... Beats me. I mean, if we don't get it, then I'll definitely assume that's the case. Okay, yeah, I'm assuming we have to just legit perfect the boss. Okay, so it's not that you just have to have one, it's that you have to legit perfect the boss. You know, let's take care of a boss. Which, with the Gunslinger, should be a pretty easy feat. You know, I suppose, like, should maybe... I mean, this is, like, legit, like, one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because while there was a lot of stuff, there wasn't much stuff that was, like, very well documented. And this will be something that comes up later. Pay no attention to it right now. Oh. Oh. Oh, wait, I mean, we have money, so... there are worse than plague pits. It'll have to do with him. You'll see what I mean. Okay. Yeah, it's not that you just have to have a secret master round, it's that you have to legit, I assume, to legit be a boss perfect. Okay, trigger twins. Honestly, it may have been worth going the bullet for this. Okay, so now we have a legit master round. Oh, and we got a 51. There's some junk. This for the next one. There's no reason to do this when the elevator is right next to us, but I won't. Yeah. Also, yeah, like, yeah, trust me, that'll come in. That'll come into play. Well, I mean, rather, it's the focus of a different entry. And just so we can... Okay, so now that we technically earned one legit, it should spawn. Yep, okay. Right there. That specific shape. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so it is. You just have to earn a legit master round. Which, I mean, in the context of regular gameplay, it makes sense, considering there is literally no other way you can get one. Where are you? Okay, okay, make our way through. Ow. Anyway, so you make it through here. It's like... And something to note is that this secret room can also spawn at the very end of the floor, like past the boss room. And like has a fairly high chance of doing that. But so then you reach here. You find him again. What you have to do is you give them a master round alongside two more things. Like this. Or junk. And he disappears, blows us up, and you're on your way. To the last, like, properly hidden secret floor. He just, like, growls at you, runs away. Welcome to the RNG department. This is essentially an amalgamation of every cut thing in the game. Or remaining cut thing. Enemy, like, you get business enemies. And trust me, it's gonna get weirder in a second. A bunch of enemies from a different cut rooms. Like there's some pirate ones. Like the parrot. Like the cannonball. Like a western looking one from which that one is like the cut western floor is perhaps the most famous one. What the difference is that with this floor, but yeah, like it's mostly a lot of reskins of enemies. Like that one's just a lead maiden, but with shooting carrots. But yeah, the Gungeon cactus. But the thing is, this floor is special in the sense that it's not randomly generated. It's the same layout every single time. Meaning there will almost be no reason for me to ever go inside that floor, inside that room with the, that I did. And specific enemy spawns will always be the same. Like these two will always spawn in the bathroom. Like that will always have the fridge. Another like random enemy like room. And this is also the RNG department is also split into two things of the sort. Now, so in here you find giant bullet using the same attack that the Trigger Twins did. Yep, Gungeon Snake. Which, I mean, while we're here... Wait, if okay, it's now playing, like, the Gungeon theme song, which I can cover this as well. Which is, like, just the theme song slaps. Being that it's just kind of a groove. The other half of the RNG department looks like a lab, because it kind of is. You kind of have to do your development first, don't you? Of course, I'm not sure if this will be the version used in the opening screen, or if it's the actual like theme used in like the credits. Ow. Yeah, so this floor's layout is always the same. Meaning, the boss, like all the other secret floors, the boss is always the same as well. And you'll always find a second one of these giant bullets here. Okay, it's the actual theme song. Which, I mean, I'm like, one can refer to either, because they're kind of built, you know, kind of both, like, extremely related as the same thing. But this plays when you, in the credits. And then for the boss of the RNG department, we have the guy we gave the stuff to. And he has voice acting. Do not say that. But yeah, he's the only character with voice acting, like proper voice acting. Cam Clark as Agunhim. Cam Clark being Liquid Snake, fighting you in a helicopter. Kind of like how he did back in Metal Gear. Ow. Yeah, as you can see, it's a wrap. You beat him up, you blow him up. Now here, there's only like a sort of a chance to get a get a chest, but it does happen at times. And then the last secret floor is much simpler. There's no special unlock conditions or whatever. You simply need to beat the pass. Like, honestly, even if I just like use the skip level function, technically it would take me there. So it's like less of a secret level, more just like the next part. Like how in like the Binding of Isaac, you can eventually you stop going to ending at the the mausoleum, and then you start going to like the womb. I cannot see. Yeah, so theme song selects refers to like that. With like you know, heavy use of repetition, the driving theme, you know, that kind of thing. Come on. Ooh, that's a dangerous one. Yeah, so the next one is, it's simply like sort of game more, it's less a sequel for more just game progression. As it as it sort of becomes the new endpoint for runs. Oh, thank you very much. Ow. And I guess we might as well check the shop, because honestly, we need all the help we can get. Although, I mean, bullet hell does have its own little details to mention. Oh, I didn't know it could catch lasers. And technically, even after you defeated the, oh no, so, oh, it's right through here. Huh. I'm not dealing with any of you. Don't take shit from anybody. I mean, there are worse things, I guess. Yeah, all you need to do, get past the dragon. Which, honestly, I probably should just brought the makeshift cannon. Which, you know what? We're just... we don't need it. Perfect. You know, make it through the dragon, through the bullet waves. You know, or cheat through it using a black hole. Whichever suits your taste. But as for actually unlocking bullet hell, you need to defeat all 4 of the main character paths. So pilot, marine, hunter, convict. Then you go through here as normal, and like on your first time, this would look no different. Then you'd walk through like anyway and get snatched down to bullet hell immediately. But after you do it, you get, you know, an actual entrance you can choose to go through. And then you have this, and then you have bullet hell, which actually follows a structure. From the very first room, you have 2 things that loop around to the same thing. So this loops to here, this loops to here, and then 1 room that's off by its own. You then follow a path, and then you have another central room, which loops, 2 paths loop back into itself, and 1 goes right. Then you have 2 dead ends, and 1 path to the boss. And also this secret room, this type of secret room, it always spawns. And we could, oh, okay, never mind. We took care of the Shellington. So it's a maze of a sorts. And yeah, this is like one of the other spots you find Pupulons, which is also the more fitting location. But that'll be more for the Babylonian section. Either way, so you make it through, then you fight the Lich, who has 3 phases. But since that's sort of the endpoint of most Gungeon runs, we can just sort of ignore that in exchange for the other bits. 'Cause yeah, like the Lich, that's sort of the you know, I'm caught between like showing it off or not. I mean, I figure like, I mean, what's the harm? Of course, with technically not many defensive items, you know, it's not unlikely I could die. Oh, what's among us? Oh, yeah. Can take my gun. Okay, finally. Oh, instant boss killer, thank you very much. And yeah, a lot of these room layouts are sort of more difficult to deal with. Ow. Now we gotta, you know, start being a bit more careful. Which, that was a bit easier than I thought it'd be. And this will be less easier than I think it will be. It may be worth it for me to spawn some health. Okay, okay. As you can see, bullet hell for a reason. Which honestly, this could be a good weapon for the Lich. I don't know why, I just kind of stood there and took that. Yeah, so the Lich is like, you could say the true master of the Gungeon, and by that I mean he literally is. Or at least that's what it says on his job description. Wait, so let's just give ourselves. Yeah, so much like the rat, it's a 3-phase fight. But unlike the rat, you have to fight all 3 phases. Usually it plays something much more dramatic and fitting, but you know. That's how it goes. And yeah, much like the other bonus bosses, there's not really... Well, actually, no, we'll get into that. Or as of now, there isn't really a reason you'd want a perfect to fight. But there's not much reason to do it, other than just to say that you have. So, you know, this phase 1, ground starts rumbling, you think it's over, in comes the hand. Phase 2, baby. This time taking a much more stationary role. And you want to be careful of the new obstacles, because they'll block your bullets. Yeah, he'll use attacks that more so cover the screen and force you to dodge. Take care of that, you go on to the last form. And I think this one's the title screen version of the theme. Ow. But yeah, with this one, with the last one, he'll take on more abstract things. Gun made of guns, bullet waves, the boomerang he hit us with earlier. Do this shit, which that kind of looks sick. It's made of bullets. All of its limbs are bullets. Two other things. You beat it, and you shoot it with its own gun. Because this is the thing that appears whenever you die and sends you back. And normally we'd be the gunslinger, but because we were disguised as a payday guy, we're a skeleton. And just like that, that's where the bullet hole inside the Gungeon came from. Yeah, so that's all the secret stuff. So we spent like an hour, like, covering that. But next is something much more simple. Snek Bad. And that simply refers to the community's hatred for this boss. They really do not like this boss. Due to its usual thing being a bit annoying. The ability to spawn little helpers that can make itself heal, like these things. These also attack, and if it eats it, it'll heal up, repair its things, and start attacking faster. As you can see. Now I'm leaving. So that refers to just how people just kind of hate it. No, I just spawned it there just for the sake of doing it. Although, it will be that enemies in the lobby will be brought up later. So yeah, theme song. Slabs. Exit. That refers to Exit the Gungeon. That would be a game developed by Dodge Roll and released originally on Apple Arcade before eventually being ported to oh, that's tiny. Yeah, before eventually being ported to Steam. It's much like Enter the Gungeon, but like more specifically, it's more of like a up and down platformer than like there's like sort of isometric. It's like more of a platformer in the traditional sense rather than the sort of isometric view Enter the Gungeon has. Much more arcade-like as well, which I mean it's fitting because it was originally developed for Apple's arcade thing. So after that is Blockner. And Blockner is likely to be the first secret the player will discover. This guy right here. Within the tutorial, there's its own little thing that you will discover. So this is where I'll... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so in the tutorial room, you'll find these two things behind what is sort of a tutorial for the secret room. You see this cracked wall. You use a blank. You see these two things, which is applied to be the tutorial character's Sir Manuel's body. Hold on, I gotta make sure I can hear this. There we go. There you go. So you follow through. You meet Manuel. You fight him in his little boss. But you beat him. Find his shield, which means you know my terrible secret. I never conquered the Gungeon. I'm not long sure it is. You ask whose fault it is. That's Snek Blockner. Supposed to be partners. But after he arrived, he shot us back. So yeah, long story short, he tells about how Blockner betrayed him and killed him. And how he suspects Blockner is still in the Gungeon. And asks us to be his angel of vengeance, so to speak. You want me to kill him? Yes, please do. So, after you go through the tutorial, in the Black Powder Mines, there'll be a special room that spawns that has Blockner. But unfortunately, there's like no way of getting at the spawn again without starting a new save. So, unfortunate. But after you defeat Blockner, he appears in the breach as also a ghost. And then even on occasions, he will appear as a mini-boss where you fight a ghost. But actually, his little mini-boss fight in the Black Powder Mines is interesting. Because it counts as a boss. Like, first things first, he also has 2 add-ons. Like, additional damage sources. In the gun nuts. Like, he has 2 of these with him as well. It's also interesting in the sense that he'll spawn a weapon for you to pick up, And also, if you perfect him, he'll spawn a master round for the floor. So it's interesting. Now Casey refers to this gun. Nope. It's simply popular in the community for being like one of the few melee weapons in the Gungeon, and pretty good at its job as well. Being a baseball bat modified to like launch bullets back. It's known for being quite powerful. Now synergies are a mechanic to where, and just going in so I can show stuff. Synergies are a mechanic where you can, where if you have two weapons of a related thing, there'll be a special interaction between them. So let's say, spawn like Mega Hand. I mean give Mega Hand. So we have this. It's like a Mega Man's gun. Charge up, fire, shoot. Now, if you give it something like Mega Man would have, like, let's say... Oh. That arrow will show that we got a synergy. And it'll show you, get equipped with F. And if you switch back to the Mega Hand, Time Stopper. And essentially is like Time Stopper for Mega Man. And almost nearly every weapon has like a synergy of a sort, where items like interact in a way. Like, and it's not even just guns. Coca-Cola. The synergy between Shotgun-Cola and Shotgun Coffee. Shotgun Coffee. With those two drinks, Shotgun Affinity. Which, this specific synergy, that'll be coming in later. Now, okay, I know you can't really see this one, so let me just blow it up. Shadow Magician and the Shop Creep are Agunhim. Well, I mean, this one's pretty simple, in the sense that it's already been explained. You see, back when there wasn't really as much concrete evidence back. So, the Shop Creep is that person we fought. We unlocked it. Agunhim is also a boss for the Bullets Past. So there he is. And you fight him again. Where the... Does he not have an entry? No, I guess not. So he doesn't have a secondary entry for his other form in the RNG department. But he also is the Shadow Magician, or forms it. And when you fight him, it just straight up says he is Agunhim. Lord of the Jammed. So in the Gungeon, there's a mechanic called Curse that builds up as you take things that are quote-unquote blasphemous to the Gungeon. If you get over 10 Curse, you spawn the Lord of the Jammed. So this sets us to 9. For that, he appears. Relentless and hunting you. Like, you can't touch him, you can't hurt him. And he'll do that the entire way through. If you go into a shop, he'll follow you, and the shop will close. And Even if you go back below 10 curse, he's not leaving you alone. You'd have to wait until the next floor for him to go away. After that, we have rainbow mode, which was actually way back when started by the YouTuber Retromation. Because with Mod the Gungeon, you're allowed to like spawn in items in chest. And as you saw when I was just showing through all the secret floors, I would just spawn a rainbow chest just to load me up with items. And this is what Bowler does. He sets you on a rainbow run. This means at the beginning, and the essence of the rainbow run is like this. At the beginning of every floor, on a rainbow chest. You pick one item, and that's all you get. You get no other items. However, compared to a regular rainbow chest, it actually has. But yeah, the only thing you can get is like progression items. So like items that like relate to unlocking later, like the secret floors, like the nod key, the old crest. Stuff you get by beating up the rat in the punch out phase. A special secret room called about witches, which let you exchange a gun for curse. A gun muncher, which allows you to feed in 2 guns and get a new one. Shortcut guns, the resourceful rat offers you if you take a shortcut. Things picked up by the night gun, which is essentially like a shovel knight gun. It can dig up stuff occasionally. You get those items. There's an item called Spice that, as you start taking it, it'll begin replacing other items. Where is it? So items can still be replaced by Spice. The black market, if you spray water into its mouth, you get a free item. You can get that still. You can still get glass guan stones, which you can still get these. And if you, by some extremely rare chance, spawn a natural rainbow chest, you can keep all the items from it. Because I mean, it's in the rules of the run, rainbow chest. But everything else, item pedestals, mimics, chests with keys, locked, like chest you buy from like Synergies, locked chest, NPCs like the Lost Adventure, the Gunsling King shops, they're all gone. But the spawn rates for this one is actually different from a regular rainbow chest. You get 1 guaranteed S tier and 1 guaranteed A tier item. Other than that, is 12% chance for an S tier, 41% chance for an A tier, 23% for a B tier, 12% for a C or D tier item. So you just go down picking up like one item every floor. So, but they're almost guaranteed to be like some powerful items from you to choose from. Now then, after that is beast mode. And what beast mode is the, if you go in the options, go to the gameplay, beast mode. What it does is literally nothing. It does nothing. But if it is needed, you need to beat a run with it enabled to unlock the bait launcher. I can... I must have skipped it. But you need to be around in beast mode to unlock this. And then Hunter's my waifu. That's something from the original Iceberg. I mean, that's just, of course, your stereotypical thing. Rubenstein's a monster. Now, while there are a bunch of item synergies that like spawn something like special or alter a gun, the Rubenstein prototype and the Rubenstein Mark II, when you get both of them, no. They form a special synergy called Rubenstein's Monster, where both the guns are sort of fused together. And it even has its own item entry. Maximum lethality and one convenient package. And now, funny we've got this item, because this is the next entry. Clone runs. What happens if you die with clone is it essentially starts you back at the very beginning, first floor, of a new, like, generated floor. So what happens is you go, like, reach all the way down to the lich, you die, you come back. And the other thing is that doing this removes it from your inventory. So theoretically, you could get clone again. And if you're doing like a rainbow one, it becomes easier because it's a high tier item, and with a decent chance of spawning high tier items, there is a pretty decent chance you could get clone again and again and again. Meaning making runs into like a multi-hour endeavor. Then next up we have the Shotgunkin costume. Now this refers to like how I mentioned how the PS4 edition has its own little thing. Like with the physical Ammonomicon, it also comes with a bonus. However, this bonus is also extended to like the Switch version. And a lot of the Gungeoniers have like an alternate costume that you can choose. Both the PS4 edition or the physical PS4 edition or the Switch, you can change yourself from a bullet to a shotgun. Enjoy the pleasures of being a nearly perfect cylinder with exclusive shotgun skin. Which skin being an abbreviation of shotgunkin, which is what the skin lets you be. Other than that, it changes nothing. I mean, your animations, of course, here. I mean, that's it. Now then, the next thing is stealing, which is also a mechanic in the game. So it's just... Well, okay, I guess we don't really need anything specific. Because stealing can be done with anything. I killed it so fast I could leave. I guess that's what happens when they don't expect you to be able to kill enemies that fast at this point. Oh, and here's a sort of rare NPC that I didn't mention in the Iceberg. Patches and Mendy. Where they just smash a bottle with a fairy over your head. And heal you up. HM Medical Academy. In HM, we'll get into that. But yeah, he'll appear on anything, on any chest, and if you unlock it, he'll give you a note being like, "Come on, you idiot." Come on, just give me a shot. Yeah, because with any shop, you can steal from it. Oh wow, I like Ricochet perfectly at the bail there. Imagine it's gonna be like over here. No, okay. But yeah, in the rainbow ones, it's usually less. I mean, less of a reason for you to get keys. Because I mean, what else? What are you gonna use them for? Opening chest. Yeah. So there's a mechanic where you can steal. Use a specific item. And yoink. However, with stealing, there comes penalty. I mean, of course, you get curse. And with the various items, you could use the Age Bell, the box, the Chaff Grenade, the Charm Horn, the Decoy, the Directional Path's Grappling Hook, though that one's more likely to get you kicked out of the main shop. The Grey Mouse's Invisibility on reload, a Smoke Bomb, as we saw, the Ring of Ethereal Form, and the Predator. The first time you steal, it works guaranteed. Except for the hook. Because, I mean, that one, you're just straight up stealing. After that, it's a 50% chance to work, then a 10% chance everyone after that. If you get caught, and not spawn. Yep, get out and don't come back. You'll be kicked out, and you'll lose access to shops for the rest of the run. If you find a different shop, like NPC, like Goopton or like literally any other NPC that has a shop, they skip 50 straight to 10. But if you get caught, I mean, they'll still take away the items, like the other items they have, but they won't remember. So if you find them again later and you run, you can still buy from them as normal. Then after that, we have Starting Curse, which we saw in my Lord the Jam. Excuse me. The Lord the Jam thing, which I used. After you kill a character's past, you can go to this statue, gather your courage, and pray. If you pray, it'll set your curse to 9. Now, it won't. When I say that, I don't mean like it'll add 9 curse. I mean if your curse is below 9, it'll set it to 9. So if it's 0, it goes up to 9. If it's 8, it goes up to 9. Ooh. And the next thing is Spice. Spice is a tantalizing cube of power. And as you keep using it, it'll give you more and more effects. On your first use, it gives you a heart container. It makes you faster, 20% faster. Decreases shot spread by 25%, making you more accurate. But increases your curse by 0.5. But it also adds a chance that Spice will could potentially replace other items from like room drops, chests, and shops. If you get another one more couldn't hurt. Another heart container. It slows down enemy bullets 10%. Makes you fire 10%, makes you fire 20% faster, but gives you full point of curse, and further increases the chance Spice will replace stuff. Another one. One more hit. This is where it starts going bad. It removes a heart container. If you reach one heart, it won't kill you, but it'll sort of impose like a health debt. So let's say if I got to like one heart, and I took Spice, I won't lose that last heart, but I'll have like a negative heart stored up. If I picked up like a health item, like a master round, it'll cancel out. But then the next health up item I take will give me one. But it also slows down enemy bullets by another 5%, makes you do 20% more damage, and further increases it. And on the fourth one, more. And it'll say more from now on. It removes another heart container, increase your damage even more, but it'll start increasing your shot spread, meaning you start becoming less accurate. And of course, more curse. And then from here on out, like the dialogue's the same, of course, but from here on out, it'll do that same thing. Heart container, more damage by 15%, more curse, 10% shot spread. If it goes high enough, it'll even, like, my swords will start shooting, like, behind me or whatever. When it comes to, like, spawning it naturally, there's a cap of 40. But using the night gun, you can dig up even more. And just like that, that's the first tier. Which a lot of that time was taken up by... Yeah, it really is. Oh, okay, okay, I didn't see that question because I was busy looking at the notes. No. Once you reach, like, you can't go back down. Like, we can show it here. We're now set to 9. Like, it'll only say turn away. Like, even if I, like, spawned in, like, 10 spice and, like, well, I mean, went up to 10 curse via spice, it'll just say the same thing. Like, its only purpose is sending you up to 9. Yeah, most of that first layer was spent on, just showing the secret floors. But now we have layer 2. We go to the Keep of the Lead Lord. The boss DP. The first thing is the boss DPS cap. Where, let me think of a good way to show it. Actually, wait, no. I mean, we already used a bunch of spites, so actually that is a pretty good way. What's the minigun? Vulcan cannon. There you go. So you would think this would do, like, banger damage. Like anything. As you can see, anything we so much as look at are, like, dying immediately. So you must think, by the time we reach the boss, we are going shred it. Well, you're gonna see. And as for the effects of curse, we'll get into that. Let's just give ourselves a map. Just so I can show this off. Oh, isn't that lucky? Now, what bosses in the game have are a DPS cap. I mean, you can only do so much damage to them, like in a certain amount of time. Oh, the jammed too. So we were shredding enemies before, but like we are not doing nearly as much damage. However, there are certain ways to break the DPS cap. There's 3 ways. One is the makeshift cannon, which we used to melt some bosses earlier to like sort of shred the dragon so we could immediately go to bullet hell. The next is the Yari launcher. Which this will also ignore the boss DPS cap. And the third way is to have anything that deals over 1,000 damage. Like, if you find a way to make your bullets somehow do over 1,000 damage, it'll also break it through the boss DPS immunity. And actually, it used to be hot lower, but during the final update, actually, wait, no. Okay, so it's in a 3-second window. It can only do however much damage within 3 seconds. Ow. With enemies, basic enemies, it caps at 300, like full alt. If you do like a singular shot, the most you can do is like with a powerful singular shot weapon, the most you can do is triple that limit. When you're doing boss rush, there is no DPS cap. But other things that bypass it, it's the high caliber souls. Like just this thing like shoots out souls that deal like a certain percentage of max HP or a certain amount of damage. The high caliber breaks the DPS cap when you collect it. If you collect like 5 at once, all that damage is done at once. The boxing glove, it has like a 3-star punch mechanic, like something like Punch Out, because you unlock it by beating the rats Punch Out minigame. Doing the 3-star punch, that breaks the DPS cap. The glass cannon, which, of course, it'd be kind of remiss not to. But yeah, like I said, over 1,000 damage. Any shot. But it was actually raised in the final update of the game, Farewell to Arms. And then next we have Alburn, which he was brought up. And then let's oh my god, this entire time I had game audio off. Oh, that is just either, but I destroyed a thing and got lies earlier. Normally, he just asks you like a random question, you know, several truths, and you just answer like a random question with whatever you want to go. Yeah, it seems right to me. And then you open the chest and you can get usually like 2 pickups but usually 2 items. And if you destroy it, you get lies. Which functions just like the junk item, but I mean that's it. I can't believe I forgot to unmute the game audio this entire time. Now then, for the Great Bullet, Caliber, and Hegemony Man, like, I'll cover that last for this layer, because it's a lot. But first things first is Kate Bulletkin, which, I mean, for Kate Bulletkin and Busted TV, we sort of already covered them. Like, the item you have to carry already, carry everywhere, and the Kate Bulletkin, you have to find 5 of them, let them just, like, disappear, and unlock the bullet. Now, unused characters, that's where things get interesting. Because a lot of the unused characters are still kind of mentioned in a way. And you can even... this. Like, there are several unused characters. There's also some unused guns and enemies and bosses. But I mean, with the unused enemies, they're kind of put into the RNG department. With the unused guns, there's a lot of them, but not all of them are nearly worth mentioning. Bosses, they're in a later entry. But the unknown characters are a bit more like, well-known. So, the first unused character is a Cosmonaut. And it even has a starting gun of the Makarov. Which it even mentions it. Is brought to the Gungeon by a lost Cosmonaut. Some say that brave lost soul still wanders a Gungeon. It's no better or worse than any other gun, reflecting its former nature as a starter gun. And it even has its own text strings of the game. Even has their like own ways of referring to him. And then for the other one, you have the Ninja. Does its own like little vanish. And starts off with the 38 special, an AK-47. And a Magnum, which automatically has a synergy with a dual wielded, but potentially it could have been like intentional for him to start out with this synergy. And with this blink he has, this vanish and teleport, it potentially draws a connection with a different item. The one I dropped earlier because I was like, I don't like it. The Bloodied Scarf. The dodge roll is replaced with a blink. This simple scarf is once worn by a skilled assassin, betrayed by his brothers and assumed dead. So that's even a potential, like past for them too. Okay, let me see if I got something with the Ninja. No, I don't think I do. With the next one, this one's actually interesting. Character, Lamey. Glitchy finger, the blood brooch. And the starting gun that just says unfinished, that uses the unfinished gun text. Because, I mean, that's a... like, infinite ammo does not reveal secret walls. The unfinished gun, of course, being used as a sort of placeholder. Yeah, Lamey has her own things, but yeah, own starting gun skin. But like a full set of animations, just like the others. But as for nickname, she uses the pilot's nicknames. However, he's special in the sort that she was much further ahead. She even has, I mean, that's tiny. Where Well, I meant to, like, show off... Like, she has an alt skin. Is what I was trying to show. But I guess it's, like, just, like, way too small to show. But what I can show... Okay, never mind what I thought I could show. How can I show this, then? Oh, wait a minute, I'm an idiot. Yeah, she had her own... Oh. She has her own, like, boss, like, cards, title card thing. And her own alt skin. But here's the thing. She would come back. In the newest release, House of the Gun Dead, which is a light gun arcade game, Lamey returns as the detective. Alright, hold on. Okay, so I obviously thought this iceberg is... I may have made this iceberg a bit too big. Because, yeah, more time has been eaten up than I thought. Either way. So, you know, here we have... There's Lamey again. And as you can see... Like guns, pretty similar. The hair, the green hair, the trench coat, the tie. Lamey is back. Which, that's like, of the things, that's more interesting. Now, the last character is Evie. Which, back before the paradox is implemented, it just was a character that would switch between the different sprites. But we switched to Evie now. I know, I appreciate it. I probably... I gotta... And, like, I'll finish up this tier, except the 3 big things. And then I'll probably have to continue this, like, another day. Because, yeah, no, going over those secret floors took up a lot more time than I thought. But yeah, so Evie turns out, was the in-development, sort of work for the Paradox. And if I restart... It'll even ask if I want to keep the modifiers. And then, like, while we're here... Before we go back to show off the next entity... Mimic Gun. Much like how there's the chest mimics, the wall mimics, the pedestal mimics... There's a mimic gun. Which, scrolling past all these notes. Yeah. It's just a tiny chance of replacing your gun. And you have to keep using it. You could, well, when you come across it naturally. You have to keep using it until you get ammo. Or you deal a certain amount of damage. But since I spawned it in, I can just use it freely. Now what it does is it pierces. And any bullets it touches, it turns them into jammed bullets. Meaning they go from doing half a heart to a full heart. Now after that, we have the D-pad. The D-pad moves. His like directional pad, I think. Which has two special moves I can use. Like doing down and right. Like here's a regular shot. Do down right, it shoots off a Hadouken. Like so down right being like quarter circle forward. Like how in Street Fighter you do it. But if you do left left, hook shot, which would be like, because it even mentioned it in the item entry. Back low punch, which would be Scorpion's. The like the input for Scorpion's hook in Mortal Kombat. Now the next thing is weapon skins. Once you beat the character's past, no, you unlock. Actually, yeah. Once you beat the character's past, you unlock a skin. They can swap between them. It becomes a bunny. Twilight gets this like coat, like future, like real future look. The Marine just looks like a medieval knight. The Convict look goes Mad Max. The Cultist turns into this apple, like apple costume. The Robot becomes a Terminator. And the Huntress gets a little wolf costume. You can pet a dog. Not cute. It's not exclusive to the costume. You can do that as anyone. But if you go and defeat the character's past again in their costume, you get this. And then you can switch the Gungeon to your starting gun. It does nothing, but I mean, it's essentially a different cosmetic skin. It's like an additional layer of cosmetics. Like the Convict gets like a more like sort of beaten up, or even more beaten up looking revolver. Oh. The Pilot gets like a golden laser pistol. The Knight gets like a magic pistol. The Bullet's sword is replaced with a carrot. And the laser that shoots up full health is shaped like a carrot. And the Robot gets like a head that shoots like bones. Yeah, talk about Alburn, D-pad moves. Payday. Okay. So the Payday items, which was mentioned earlier, asked about earlier, when I had that rainbow looking thing. It's a set of 3 items from the game Payday. The Clown Mask, excuse me, which spawns in like a partner, and an additional partner for if you get these two. Like additional one here and here. A Drill, which lets you unlock any chest, but you fight waves of enemies depending on how rare the chest is. And the Loot Bag, which makes enemies drop a lot more money, but if you get hit, the money drops everywhere, and you have to pick it up before it despawns. Wearing this turns you into Dallas from Payday. And it spawns in like 4 partner, the 3 other main 4 of Payday. And it actually goes both ways too. Where is it? EPP and because Payday actually got masks based on Enter the Gungeon. One for the Bullet, the Marine, the Cultist, and the Robot. So no direct gameplay things, but I mean, it still does look cool. Mod the Gungeon. Now, Mod the Gungeon is, well, a now depreciated thing. Let's see. What is my notes on it? So it's sort of depreciated. I'm only using it, like, you can tell because like it replaced the dodge roll games with dog roll games or dog games or whatever. It has this, and if I go back out, the title screen will say Mod the Gungeon. But of course, it's since been depreciated for the Beplex. Like Beplex. Like, it's been depreciated, is what I'm saying. I'm only still using it for ease of use. Which, I mean, man. The next thing is locked shops. And, I mean, there's not really any proof to show. But, I mean, other than... Yeah, Mungeon is. Yeah, it just had, like, this weird explanation of it. Yeah, locked shops, I mean, pretty simple. The Gungeon used to, like, shops in the Gungeon used to potentially be locked behind a key. Eeny, meeny, miny. You. Okay. Now the Sprun glitch. There's an item called Sprun. It's here. If you fulfill a weird special condition... Nope. Which I'm just gonna try by... Because one of the things it can do is give you... If you use your last blank... Ah, come on. One of these has to be it. Yeah, it gives you like a random condition to fulfill, and you have no way of knowing what it is. If you fulfill it, it gives you a very powerful gun. Okay, I'll give it one more shot, then I'll just, like, spawn it. Okay. Okay, no, yeah, I've got it. So it gives you this thing. Unlimited ammo, powerful, and the like. But normally you could switch off once you got to it. You'd be stuck using it. Yeah. Transforms into a powerful weapon. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing. Like this. But if you drop this while it was transformed, but before it transformed back, you leave into a different room. You come back and, like, you let the rat steal it. You'll permanently be stuck with this. Or rather, you'll be able to use it until, like, you pick up a different gun. So, essentially, you'd be... If you wanted to use it, you'd have to be using it forever. I mean, honestly, there are a lot worse choices than this. Now then, oh, the bullet is the advanced dragon. All these stuff. I mean, okay. Like, I know where we are now, and what we still need to go over. So, I mean, we'll have to continue this another day. I mean, like, honestly, like, the secret things was, like, the big thing. And with that out of the way, I mean, it'd be much more just actually showing stuff. Okay, so I'll have to, like, retitle this. So, like, first layer and part of the second layer. Like, first half of the second layer. Yeah, alright. That's good. I do appreciate it. Y'all coming here. And, like, trust me. Like, I got this on lock. I'm definitely not letting this go by. But yeah, okay. I just sort of underestimated how wonky it would be to show all the secret stuff in game. But I mean, I'll probably try to continue it tomorrow. I mean, other than that, I mean, I felt it. I felt I was getting the swing of it. But yeah, I do appreciate y'all coming by. But, I mean, unfortunately, duty calls for me, and I gotta hit the dusty trail. Which tells y'all find yourselves on though after this. I hope they find you well. Bye.